You won't know who I am from what you perceive. But if you listen when we speak, then you will receive a glimpse of who I am. And then you'll believe and have a life of peace, because your soul is at ease. You see, our source is the essence of which this world is conceived, which means that we were here before the bird and the bee. Now if you have not guessed, I am eternity. But now if you have guessed, and you guessed correctly, that simply means we share the same destiny. To realize we are the God and Trinity that is talked about in Christianity. Now some will say that vanity or go as far as insanity. It's because they believe in Western theology. But as for we, you see, we choose ancient Kemetic philosophy. Not to say that's the only path to immortality. That's the path for we, this life, you see, as we devote our life to helping others be free, so they in turn can reach their full divinity. And this is done because of the he and I, and the I and he. Peace and wholeness.
All right. Oh, there you go. Apologies for that little technical difficulty. That's why we got a little late start here. At any rate, welcome to Metaphysical Mondays. I am your host for this brief discussion on today's topic, metaphysics and your health. And being as though we got started a little late, relatively speaking, it's 12:08 now, and we only scheduled for a half an hour. We're going to get right off into it. There's not a lot of information that my person going to share about his past. You know, it's a journey to get to this point because enough have been said over the years. And yeah, leave it at that moving forward. Metaphysics and your health. Metaphysical Mondays. So today we're going to briefly talk about metaphysics, chakras, and physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual association with those chakras as it relates to metaphysics. Um, First, metaphysics, metaphysician. Generally speaking, when most of us have heard the term that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And the same as a picture is worth 1,000 words, a word is worth 1,000 pictures, at least from my person's perspective, you know, philosophy, right? And so with that, there are many words that may turn this camera a little bit. Ah, there we go. More fuller view. So yeah, set this camera down. Yeah. All right. Get a little more situated, a little more comfortable. So yeah, the with the word being worth 1,000 pictures, one of the words for meta, which generally speaking is a prefix, can be looked at as a prefix, M-E-T-A, meta. As a prefix, one of the words that's associated with meta is above. Another word is beyond. Above and beyond. Above and beyond are two words associated with meta. And then when you add physics, which is a branch of science, and most people are familiar with science from school, some sort of education, the technical side of how things work. And most sciences deal with the physical realm, things that we can see, touch, taste, smell, that can be measured with a device or something as such. So metaphysics is simply above the physical, beyond the physical. And a metaphysician is above and beyond a physician. And the physician, generally speaking, again, comes from physician. Physician, generally speaking, is one who is studied, who understands the science of health, right? And generally speaking, a doctor may be a physician, but not all. I mean, a physician may be a doctor, but not all doctors are physicians. Just came across that information as a little tidbit. For example, surgeons, they're doctors, or even PhDs, they're doctors, yet they're not maybe considered physicians as far as dealing with the science of health, right? So, metaphysics, metaphysician. And so, yours truly is, of course, a metaphysician, and my person deals with the above as the science of health that's above the physical, right? And one of those modalities or uh, avenues is chakras, right? Chakras, 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 right? Generally speaking, real quick, chakras is a term that is used to describe an energy center within the body. And there are chakras throughout the body, major and minor. However, for our particular series on Metaphysical Mondays, we're generally going to be referring to the seven major chakras that line the spine. And actually, there is, let's see if we can pull this presentation up, just, give an idea of what it is my person is referring to. And my person is the physical being that you see here, the vessel, the avatar, the earth rover, being that I am a soul. I'm a soul. I'm a soul that is transmitting, broadcasting from Arcturus, right? Who is choosing this timeline of being what we call incarnated into physical reality using this vessel. So that's who I am. I'm a soul, baby, soul brother, right? So yeah, this is just a quick, image of the seven major chakras that we'll be speaking of, and to the right of the screen there's a brief description of each, and based upon those descriptions, my person's, you know, more or less resonates with what they have, while at the same time it goes a little further, a little deeper, off into these seven major energy centers. You dig? Why is that? Being that over the past 10 years, my person has been intentionally living a life that is of integration, of embodying, of understanding the science through his experience of these energy centers, how they work in correlation with our existence, and more specifically for this discussion, with our physical health, right? So there you have it. So it is these seven major chakras, along with what may be called, a lot of people call it the Kundalini energy. Kundalini, baby, the Kundalini, right? And so just want to share briefly a photo of this Kundalini, just to give you an idea. Those who watch who may not be as aware, that you know, don't even think it came up. Hold up. Let's see, we got to do something. Ah, let's see. Oh, it's not showing up on the thing. Missed that the first time. Hmm, interesting. Oh well, apologies for that goof. And it is showing on the computer screen here. However, it is not showing up on this screen right here. Interesting. Just doing a little troubleshooting. Let's see, one more. Hmm. Well, okay, let's do it like this then. There's another way. All right. So the first one was the chakras, right? So this is what was the attempt to pull up, you know? At any rate, you can just Google chakras. Most of everyone is probably familiar with it anyway. Just looking to be somewhat, fancy with show and tell, right? And here's the other one, real quick, as we say, real quick. So this just has the image of this energy going up the spine, the two sides of masculine and feminine, you know. So that's that. Again, these images was taken off of Google. So all right, and generally speaking, if for those of you who are familiar with the medical staff, the symbol for the medical, the symbol for the medical system, there's a staff, a stick, with snake going up, head at the top, maybe have wings on it. At any rate, that's another symbol, symbolic of the Kundalini energy, representative of that. So basically, between those seven major energy centers that goes up the spine and the Kundalini energy, my person is just sharing some information moving forward on their correlation relationship on our overall health, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So briefly, how does that work? Well, um, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Emotionally, mentally, most of us are familiar with that, generally speaking. Emotional health, mental health is a big thing these days. And most of us are familiar that how we feel emotionally, if we're under stress, we can feel it in the physical body. We feel distress in the physical body. It doesn't feel comfortable. And of course, over time, it may do damage to the physical body that, may require a medical doctor, for example, something like that. Um, and whether it be from just feeling, from the emotions of feeling, you know, um, wow, this is, which is metaphysical in and of itself, right? And then we also have the body, the brain, shoots out hormones, based upon in response, based upon the feeling of elation, joy, love. There's certain hormones, endorphins, that are sent out there, that feel good hormone. At the same time, whenever we're upset and stressed and something's not bothering us, the other hormone is sent out, and cortisol and stuff like that. This is medical stuff. However, it is proven this is science, right? And so there's also a relation to, of course, what we think. So how we think about something, when we think about something, the perspective that we have on any situation in life generally accompanies a feeling. And how we feel about our perspective will determine whether or not the physical body experiences pain or pleasure, right? And this is generally with the emotional body, all right? And a little bit with the mental body, although some may look at the mental body as our thinking faculty. However, if you ride this series long enough or stay tuned, in my person's system that it uses, its own system of evolution, it my person separates the thinking from the mental body. And that'll be later on down the line. The thinking from the mental body. And my person has an association with the thinking is included within within the emotional body. And the emotional body, my person calls the mind, also the inner child, also the divine feminine, also lower self. So, um, however, we're keeping it real light today, real light. We have about maybe 5 minutes or so left of just putting together the concept of metaphysics, chakras, and your health, right? And so this is where we get into the spiritual body. This is where the kundalini energy comes in, that goes from the base of the spine up to the crown, chakra. Yeah, that kundalini energy, my person says, is part of our spiritual body. And that spiritual body, of course, connects us to the all, to everything in creation, because everything in creation is spirit. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. And energy is spirit, from my person's perspective and this philosophy. And so and that's the disclaimer also. It's a little late, but the information being shared is for educational purposes only. And it's based upon my person's 30 years of studying and 10 years of implementing this particular science, right? So yeah, these spiritual laws, because with the spiritual body connects us to all things, and therefore spiritual laws are those laws and or principles that are some of the sort of timeless. They transcend time, or they just simply apply across the board. It doesn't matter race, color, creed, gender, sex, orientation. It doesn't matter what happens. There's a saying in Christianity, I think it may be scripture also, that God reigns on the just and the unjust, right? God reigns on the just and the unjust. So these principles apply whether you are aware of them or not, whether you believe them or not, whether you use them a lot or not. And just as a caveat, a lot of people who may be using these principles, generally speaking, well, it may be said that there are a lot more people using these principles to suppress the masses than there are people using these same principles to uplift themselves, thereby uplifting humanity and the masses, right? So, um, principles such as, we want to keep it light to close out this thing. Principles such as karma. People heard of karma? Most people heard of karma. Most people have heard of the law of attraction. The law of attraction. Most people understand the power of forgiveness, right? So what happens is we generally have a underlying core belief about reality, especially for those of us who may be more spiritual, you know, and or religious, who believe in a God, a higher power. Within that God or that higher power, they're also projecting out there that there comes a le- certain level of truisms or truths or things that may be considered God's law or spiritual laws or spiritual principles, right? So to the degree that our thinking aligns with our core beliefs, it should agree that we have more harmony because the feeling that accompanies that alignment with our thinking, with our core beliefs, is awesome. It's euphoric. It's the peace of God that surpasses all understanding from a certain perspective. And then when our thinking is not in line with our core beliefs, then these other feelings come up, right? And our core beliefs, my person is suggesting now that with our spiritual body, how we think and how we feel is the emotional body, our mind. Now, where our heart, what the mental body comes in, is that this is our actions. This is just a general overview. It gets deeper than this. We're just touching the surface right now. Just an overview of how we act, right? When our actions are in line with our core beliefs, right? Which our actions and our thinking and our emotions generally go together. So when all of those are aligned, that's when we really, really, really feel that peace of God that surpasses understanding. We feel our most blissfulness. And from a health perspective, child, this is that vibration where the chemicals that's being sent throughout the body is healing. It feels good. The body's relaxed. And generally speaking, it's in a natural, relaxed, meditative state. No matter what type of activity we're doing during the day or what we're going for, this type of coherent, that's a lot of people call it today, leads to that fluid, relaxed peace of God, organic, orgasmic, blissfulness, nirvanic, simply state of being, right? So, in a nutshell, of course, most of this is not as new to most of you. However, how my person shall be presenting it, how put it together in such a way where again it's more practical and it may be used as a tool. Again, it's just educational purposes, maybe a tool to use on your own evolutionary journey with the assisting of the aligning of your core beliefs about reality, creation, about God. Your core beliefs is your spiritual body, your soul essence, right? When this core beliefs is spoken, you speak about it because it's coming from the more or less the higher energy centers from here and here, generally speaking, up here in the Kundalini energy. So when we speak more about how we see, how we see reality, not just what we see with our physical, but how we see reality. When we speak about that, based upon our connection to the all, then the more from our heart we're being more from our heart. So then the chakra below that is the solar plexus. So then therefore our actions in alignment with that. And below the solar plexus is the sacral. So then therefore as we're creating with courage and confidence such beauty and such awesomeness because it's coming from the heart, because of our connection to our soul nature as we speak those things out. Again, being in alignment, which leads to the root chakra, as in having is the absence of fear, simply confidence, as you're grounded and rooted and you're safe, because you have all that you need. Because operating like this, the law of attraction is at play because of the alignment that's here, that's within inside. The alignment that you have in your day-to-day experience is simply a vibratory match for that. So there we have it. We were started a little late, yet we're ending approximately around 12:30. That's the intention. Come here, hit it and quit it with a little half an hour presentation, yet it's a little half hour presentation with a big impact uh, for those who it resonates with and are open to the information here. All right. And is there anything else? Well, uh, my person will be back here again in 2 strongs from now. 2 strongs is opposed to 2 weeks. 2 strongs. Uh, and that Monday, what's today? The day is with the 14th. So that would be the 21st, the 28th. So see you back on the 28th. And also, as a little reminder, if you're in the Washington, D.C. area, and this conversation, topics like this, these type of discussions really resonate. You're invited to come out on a Friday night, the second to fourth Fridays. It's Freedom Fridays, baby, Freedom Fridays. And with Freedom Fridays, it's a jam session included. You just playing music, and it's more laid back. And if you're off into it, you can even have a microdose experience. So my person will be posting the links to those things in the comments or something. We gotta figure something out. Let's probably post it in the comments. Maybe better prepared next time. Oh, no, we can do. I think we have this tomamotherEarth.org. TomamotherEarth.org. So that way, at least it'll be on the screen. Yep. So there it is. If you just go to that tomamotherEarth.org, you will see the link, registration link to Freedom Fridays, as well as Soulful Sundays. Soulful Sundays is also online as well. So if again, dig the type of discussions, your brother come with, check out Soulful Sundays also. Where Soulful Sundays, the difference between Soulful Sundays and Metaphysical Mondays is Soulful Sundays is more of the principles and generally speaking, how to align, align our paradigm, our shifting. Part of the scripture says the scripture in the Bible. There's one that Paul talks about being transformed by the renewing of your mind. So Soulful Sundays is just looking at scriptures and esoteric teachings in such a way that we understand them in their relation and their effect in our daily lives. Whereas Metaphysical Mondays is going deeper into the science of their effect on the physical body when it comes to health, our physical health, which of course is overall health because you can't separate the physical from the emotional, the spiritual, and the mental, generally speaking. So that's just the way we're wired, that's the way it is, and that's what's happening, Jack. Can you dig it? So there you have it. Soulful Sundays, Metaphysical Mondays, and Freedom Fridays. For all other anything else, such as like counseling or consultations, reach out to a brother. Either put a link here, or I think there may be a let's see, my person's info maybe here. There you go. And from the website, you can check out the services there. We'll go to the, leave a comment here. Especially leave a comment if there's something specific about health that you would like to bring about metaphysically to discuss. All right. I think that's about it. Give thanks for your time, your energy, sharing, and it is a joy, a pleasure, and an honor to be on this journey with all of you. This love journey, baby, this love journey as we return back to this frequency of love, the love vibration. Can you dig it? Right on, right on. All right, till next time, beloveds. Indeed. Enjoy all of your creations and the best of thoughts to you.